But first, it's not really surprising that the New South Wales National Party has broken ranks with its federal counterparts over the voice. As Mark Latham often says, the New South Wales Parliamentary National Party is probably the most left-wing political grouping in the country. Well, he's not wrong, but what's surprising here is that they appear, on paper at least, to have dragooned the state Liberals into supporting it as well. Although a bit of discrepancy. The Premier saying he supports it in principle only. He wants to see the detail. And a whole lot of Libs have texted me today to say, no way, this is just the Nats on a frolic of their own. Of course, it doesn't help things that the New South Wales Indigenous Affairs Minister is a Nationals MP, Ben Franklin. Here he is today.
We know that it's critical for Aboriginal voices to be considered at the heart of government, and that's why we've expressed our in-principle support for a voice to Parliament. And that's the position of the entire government in this state.
Well, that in the Liberal Treasurer, Matt Keane, and this is a Conservative coalition of the Libs and the Nats that rarely shows any Conservative instincts at all. The New South Wales Nats say they support the voice in principle, while also saying they're waiting for more details before finalising an end position. So that's a bob each way. Like a lot of voice supporters, I suspect, they think they're doing nothing more than recognising Aboriginal people in the Constitution, and they equate the voice with recognition. But that's not what the voice is. As even Malcolm Turnbull has acknowledged when first proposed, the voice is effectively a third chamber of the Parliament. Plus the body, as Minister Linda Burney confirmed as recently as last week, will be the lead negotiator on a treaty between Aboriginal Australians and the rest of us, and this new truth-telling commission, which ominously sounds like as much about historical revisionism as truth. As the Prime Minister himself has said, only a brave government could ignore recommendations from the voice, and that they could be, of course, on anything that impacts Indigenous people, which is everything. Meaning it would be a very powerful body to represent 4% or so of the country and only elected by them. That's why voice supporters are now so coy about providing us with any real detail, because they fear if they did, it would show us just how close this all comes to co-governance, where nothing can happen for 100% of the people without the concurrence of 4% of the population that claim ancestry predating 1788. But back to the National Party in New South Wales. In the state parliament, there are now 4 country seats that the National Party used to hold, held by Conservative independents or the shooters and fishers. That's what happens when a political party loses touch with its grassroots membership and takes on the politically correct views of the Macquarie Street bubble. The New South Wales Nats are not like their cousins in Victoria, which have just had their best state result since 1943. They're more like their cousins in WA, who also back the voice, who there are closer to the Greens on a lot of issues than the Liberals. Where I think this issue will bite the New South Wales Nats at the upcoming state March election is that while the voice might be the most important issue for them, well, to the people they want to vote for them, I bet it hardly rates a mention. Wouldn't even be in their top 50. Right now in regional Australia, they're focused on flood recovery, roads and bridges being up to standard and safe, energy prices, jobs in local communities, a decent education for country kids, dams and the sort of bread and butter issues we all care about. Now, if the Nats can't focus on this, then opposition is their next destination, that's for sure.